Every online coach that I talk to right now pretty much has the same problem. They are doing way too many things and they are overwhelmed. They've got 4 funnels, 3 lead magnets, 2 communities, a podcast, a YouTube channel that they haven't posted on in 8 weeks. They have email sequences that send to nobody and a whole bunch of AI tools that they downloaded from Instagram. They used once and they sit just taking up space, and they're exhausted and they're overwhelmed and they're not even making that much money. And I know this because I was that person also. I saw this concept that kind of simplified things for me. I was watching a dude, his name was Tom Sparks. I saw him on Instagram. And I've been thinking about this concept that he shared. And it was just around how to simplify everything, that there's really just 3 roles within these kinds of businesses. There's the leader who builds the offer, and that solves the money problem. There's the scientist who builds the systems, and that solves the time problem. And then there's the artist who builds the brand, and that solves the leads and awareness problem. And that's it. These businesses have 3 roles, there's 3 problems, and there's 3 solutions. What I want to show you today is what that actually looks like in my business, what each of these pieces are, how it works, and the order that I would build them in if I was starting over, and why I think this might be just like the simplest framework for understanding how to build a 6 and 7 figure coaching or consulting business that actually works without burning down your life or hating the business that you grow. And it's very simple, but like anything, it's simple, not easy, but simple. All right, well, let's get into it. All right, so the only 3 things that your coaching business actually needs, that's what we're going to get into. Before I dive into this document, if you want a copy of this, I have put this inside of my free Skool community. This is where all of my free resources are. So if you click the link in the description, you can get a copy of this resource along with everything that I'm referencing there. For example, I've got, this is a link. It'll take you to the high ticket offers course. This is a 50% discount on the software system that I use and that I've built. It is called Backpack. It works together with Skool. It is our Go High Level white label. And then I'm also going to give this a link to a GPT, which is the Personal Brand Bible. Okay, so there you go. That's going to be tons of value just in those things. But let's talk about what we're trying to solve for anyway. And these are the challenges that kind of have come up for me, and maybe they've come up for you, and they're kind of the core challenges at the crux of my business, right? In the beginning, it was, how do I make more money? And that was always the problem, right? But eventually, you figure that out. You come up with an offer, you sell some things, you make some good money. Then the next problem emerges, which is, how do I get more time? And then you solve for time. And then the next problem comes, which is kind of like impact and awareness. And maybe to scale, you'll need more leads, right? And so then you have the third challenge. And these are all at different stages of your business. I'll tell you a few kind of stories and steps that I did to solve these challenges. And so the first thing, if you think about money, like the money challenge is solved with an offer. But the offer has to be, one of the biggest mistakes I see people doing is they don't validate the offer, meaning they don't actually talk to people. They don't actually provide an offer that people want. Rather, they create an offer that they think people would want, and then they go and try to sell that thing. And there's a way easier, or there's a big step that people miss, and it is validating the offer, meaning you actually talk to people and you figure out what it is that would actually be helpful for those people. Okay, so that's step 1. And here's how I did this. So when I was shifting from financial advisor to business coach, what I did is I put a post up and I said, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm wondering if anybody would be willing to give me some honest feedback. And in exchange, I'll offer like a free 30-minute coaching call, something like that. Anyways, I had about 30 of those calls. And I got all of the feedback, like what would they be looking for, you know? And now it's even better because of AI. So you can take the transcripts of those feedback calls. This will give you like amazing insights for your ads, your offer itself, and the words that they use on those calls is gold. All right. And what I did is I remade the offer. I showed an offer. I got feedback. I remade it based on what they told me they wanted. And I ended up generating $96,000 in 30 days doing that strategy. All right. And it was just getting feedback, honest feedback. Okay, the next, and so once I had a validated offer, that was cool. And then I've iterated and improved upon that offer, raised the price of that offer. But I quickly got into the next stage in season, which was finding a system that worked for me and my lifestyle and my goals, and then simplifying it and removing all of the complexities. And that's why I love Skool, because Skool does that. I have no funnels. I use very little, software stacks, and I'm able to do everything within one ecosystem. So finding a way to simplify everything is necessary, absolutely necessary. Until you can simplify it, you cannot scale it. And then third is with awareness. This is where once you have the offer and you have a simple system, then it just becomes, how do I create? How do I share my message, share my offer, and capture more attention and awareness? Because the more I can do that, the more impact I can have. And then you're solving for the third problem, which is like awareness and impact. Okay. And the way that I have figured out how to do this, I would say I'm still figuring this out. I have solved these two problems, and now I'm learning about this one. All right. And one of the things that I am learning is what I'm going to share with you today. All right. So if you have been subscribed to this channel, you might know that I let go of my team and I replaced and rebuilt with AI. As I've done that, what I realize is whether it's a human or there's AI, there are still certain roles that are required in order for you to grow your business. And the three kind of roles that either you need to embody yourself or hire out for, regardless, like they're necessary for this kind of business, is number one is there needs to be a leader. All right. Number two is there needs to be a scientist. And you might argue like you need to be a little bit of a scientist. And number three is an artist. If you just checked in with yourself right now, like which of these how would you put these in order? Leader, scientist, artist. Like I would put mine leader number one, scientist number two, artist number three. And each of these have a different, focus point. So the way that I think about this is the leader's role is to come up with the offer and to lead his team and his clients. Okay, the scientist, that role is really around systems. I mean, it's the analytical mind. It's the one who does experiments. It's the one who is testing. And ultimately, though, it's a little bit of the analytical one, and it's the one who is figuring out systems. And then the artist is the one who is figuring out the brand. And if you think about it, these are the only three things that a good business actually needs, right? You need an offer, you need a simple system, and you need a brand. And for me, so what this looks like is I have got the Lifestyle Founder Inner Circle, and that is the offer. And this started with a one-on-one coaching offer. And then it evolved into a hybrid, a group, one-on-one and group. And now it's evolved into an AI platform and a software. And so there's the Inner Circle, okay? And then there is the Lifestyle Founder Operating System. And that's the whole system. It uses Skool, it uses ads, it uses our AI, our operation system. And I built this for myself first, and now I'm able to give it to my clients. So if they don't have to figure out all the systems for themselves, if they like this model, they can just have it and use it right away. And then the brand is LFG in my world, Lifestyle Founders Group. And so those are the three pieces, okay? Those are the three archetypes that are required. That's the offer, that's the system, and then the brand, right? And lastly, what I'm discovering is it also made, as I've rebuilt with AI, but now I'm looking to, there's still a place for having some humans. And so human number one is Gabby, my executive assistant. And she's like the glue. She holds everything together. She knows everything about everything. Okay. Yeah. This is awesome. So like this would be my first hire. It's an executive assistant and they can just help with everything. Okay. The offer and being the leader is me. Okay. So that's me. Systems, we have a guy named Kevin, and Kevin is a 20-year software developer. So now as we've gotten more into building out AI solutions, I realized there's a big gap between a vibe coded app or tool or artifact and something that could be used by all of your clients. And so I can get things to 70, 80%, but that last 20%, we have Kevin who has a deep well of experience and is helping with the systems. This is the next, if I'm going to hire the next person, it's going to be this person up here, and it would be like a brand strategist, creative director, somebody who can help with video and editing and just like the action and branding. And that would be the team. And that's it really. And you can ask yourself this question, like with each of these, is it a red light or a yellow light or a green light, right? Is your offer red, yellow, or green? Are your systems red, yellow, or green? Is your brand and your ability to attract leads with your brand red, yellow, or green? And that should give you an idea of what to focus on next in order to build your business. But if I was starting from scratch, it pretty much goes in this direction. You get the offer. This is I think you need simple systems. So like having something simple in place. But I would actually go offer, simple system, and then expand into the brand. And then the more people that you work with will help to iterate the offer, and it will go around in a circle. And you're perpetually like simplifying and iterating on just these three things. All right. And what I wanted to give you, so in this document, if you go into the Skool community, you can just search for only three things. That's what it will be under. And this will give you the links to the high ticket course. There'll be a discount code if you need a Go High Level system. And there's also the Personal Brand Bible, which is a GPT that will have a conversation with you to help you unpack and get your brand voice and a really valuable document if you're using AI, along with everything else that's in our free community. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. If you don't subscribe already, do it, and I'll see you in the community. Peace out.